Welcome to Lost Lands 2022. A lot was updated this year, so I'm going to show you all the changes and give you my expectations for 2023. Let's jump in. My name's Brett, and I'm here to show you everything you need to know about traveling to new music festivals and what you got to do to plan to get you outraging. After Lost Lands 2021, Excision and his team got a very healthy dose of constructive criticism, but luckily they took all of that and then they made some changes and updates. And in January, before tickets went on sale, they released a statement of all of the changes that were going to be happening in this year. I think this will likely happen again in the upcoming year before tickets go on sale for 2023, but some heavy speculation will help us with a little bit of what to expect. I'll start by going through this statement line by line for each of the changes that they made for 2022 and show you a little bit about what actually happened, and then we'll relay that to a little bit of what we can expect for 2023. If he releases a new statement in the next 3 to 6 months, I'll definitely make sure to make a video on that based on what we're actually expecting. So you can probably click that right here or in the description below if that video is out. If it's not out, definitely click subscribe and the notification bell so that you don't miss out when that video comes out. Excision's post talks about quite a few things, including the entryway to the campground, Wompy Woods and the VIP area there, all of the VIP areas and general changes with them, a new Village Marketplace stage, changes to the Village Marketplace as a whole, Tuesday early entry, Jurassic Glamping, quiet camping, easy camping, closed car camping, and lockers. There's definitely been quite a few changes, so let's just jump right into them. Starting off with the camping entryway, I'm actually surprised, and I don't really mean to start off with a negative, but I didn't really notice a lot of changes here. They said that they were going to add a lot of asphalt and gravel to certain areas to make it easier to get in and out, but I didn't really notice a change. The one important thing that I will say regarding this is that last year I did hear a lot of different campers complaining about how difficult it was to get in and out, and I didn't hear a lot of those complaints this year. So whatever it is that they did that I didn't notice, I think it may have had a pretty positive impact because there wasn't a lot of complaining. There is gravel and rocks all over the entries to the camping and just all throughout the campground. So again, I recommended this last year. Don't bring a suitcase that you're gonna have to roll. You will probably break the wheels on it. Bring a duffel bag or a wagon with really big wheels so that you can roll it easily through those rocky areas or just carry your duffel bag. I definitely hope that they continue to increase the infrastructure changes and updates. It's definitely something that's really important, especially when you're going on a vacation. You wanna have an easy time and kind of stroll in and relax and not have to be stressing about getting to where you're going. So hopefully this continues to improve. I'm sure it will, but at a very slow pace. So don't expect anything too huge next year. The Wompy Woods VIP area definitely went through a very drastic change. They moved it from the right side to the left side. They brought it closer to the stage and pushed it into the tree line. I believe they cut back a lot of the trees to give people more room to kind of sit and view the stage. The best part about this is that they brought the VIP closer to the stage, which means that you can get right up to the front, whereas before it was kind of behind the general admission area and it wasn't even touching the very front, so you had to be far away no matter what. The only thing here for me is that I wish they kind of squeezed it into the middle more instead of keeping it so on the side. There was definitely lots of room most of the day for VIP to be a little bit closer to the center, but it's not that big of a concern. The only other piece of that would be that it's very much on a hill, so if you want to be standing on a hill all day, then Wompy Woods VIP is your spot. There's not a whole lot of flat ground there, and that's something to consider, and of course you're going to still want to have really comfortable shoes anyway. It is a little bit out of the way to get to VIP if you're coming from pretty much any stage other than the forest. If you're coming from main stage, you really have to wrap all the way around the back of the GA crowd to get to VIP, which can be time consuming, but I think considering where everything is located, this is probably the best spot for VIP, and it's okay that it takes a little bit to get there because it's in such a great location for viewing the stage and all of that. The sound bleed from main stage last year was a huge concern, and they definitely addressed that. They created this huge barrier that blocks the walkway from main stage to Wompy Woods, so you have to walk around it a little bit. It's not that annoying, so you don't have to worry about it, but it definitely blocks off the sound, because last year, if you were standing on the right side of the Wompy Woods stage, you'd be able to hear Wompy Woods and the prehistoric evolution. I call it main stage. It's up there. The VIP areas in general were expected to make some really big improvements At main stage, more entrances, more seating, a new flat area for food and drink vendors out of the way of the best view. This all definitely happened, and I think for me, the biggest improvement was the large flat area within VIP. I really appreciate having flat ground to stand on, not being on an incline with tons and tons of rocks. It's really uncomfortable if you're standing like that for an extended period of time. So it's nice that there was a long area of flat to be able to be comfortable looking at the stage. And I think it's something that we might take for granted normally. At Wompy Woods, they added water stations, more seating, and charging lockers. I personally think that the charging lockers being inside of Wompy Woods VIP was a little silly just because it's hard to get to, it's out of the way. And again, you have to have VIP to get in there. And interestingly enough, if you're gonna stay for the after hours for the sound camps till about 3 or 4 o'clock, once those close, they close off the VIP area. So the security may or may not let you in to get your things out of your charging locker, and then you might have to leave them overnight. I didn't personally ask, but we did try to go into Wompy Woods VIP at about 4 or 4:30, and they just said it was closed and you can't go in there. And unfortunately, I don't know, and I wouldn't risk it personally. And the main reason is if I was using a charging locker, I would just use the main festival one because it's very central to all of the stages, or I would use the charging lockers in camp so that I can, grab my things on the way back to camp or on the way into the festival and pretty much have access to it at all times rather than just when the festival is open. This actually kind of leads me into my next point because I think that the space for the charging lockers in the Wompy Woods VIP area would better be used for either more vendors, more cocktail space, bar space, or more bathrooms. All of the VIP bathroom areas ended up getting really packed near the end of the night, but I will jump onto that next point right now. So the next piece of the statement was that they were going to increase the number of VIP bathrooms and have more attendants to keep them fresh throughout the night, which I think they did keep it pretty fresh. They kept toilet paper and paper towels, and they were pretty clean. I didn't see any sort of issues except for once I think someone closed the vent, so I opened it up, but that was no big deal. I still think that they need even more bathrooms in the VIP for when it gets really packed at night. All of the later, probably last 3 sets at either main stage or Wompy Woods, the bathroom area at the VIP gets super packed and you have to wait at least a good 10-15 minutes if you're lucky, and that's if you're a guy. If you're a girl, you're probably gonna have to wait much longer. So next year, I'm hoping that they spring for at least 1 or 2 more of the bathroom trailers in VIP. They have space for it, I think, and it's definitely worth it to keep people in and out so that they could just be experiencing the show. The Village Marketplace stage was actually a really exciting change that I was all about. It was a really cool spot. It was really loud. He even mentioned that they were going to be featuring international and local talent at this stage beforehand, which doesn't necessarily tell us exactly what's going to be there. He mentioned that it's going to start on Wednesday in the original post, which I had forgotten about, unfortunately, when planning my flights, so I showed up on Thursday. The only thing here is that kind of bugged me. I wish I made it for the Wednesday set. I think Blurred Vision was there, Wales was there, a couple others that I really wanted to see, and unfortunately I missed out. But because it was kind of convoluted in the post, international and local talent, I think that's probably why I, myself, and many other people probably overlooked it. But now we know next year they're going to have people that are from the actual lineup in the camping stage on Wednesday and Thursday. So keep an eye out for that and plan accordingly. The Village Marketplace did change, but I don't think it changed a whole lot personally. I agree with what Excision said, that there's a lot of potential for this area, especially with things, like experiences and I guess for lack of a better word, shows and that sort of thing would be really well suited for this area. I think before this can happen, there needs to be better descriptions on their Lost Lands app, or really just descriptions at all, of what all of the activities are, what each of the experiences are going to be like, so that all the people that are interested in these kinds of things can know what to go to and how to prioritize their time, because certain things on there had very convoluted titles, and I just figured, screw it, I'm not gonna waste my time if I would rather be doing something else. If there's really good descriptions in the future, I think a lot more people will go and do those things. The new things that they had were art installations and essentially a kind of a show. They've always had the Discovery Center, which is kind of like the yoga spot and other activities like that. But they added this stage altar gazebo sort of thing that was made out of bones, and it was really cool looking. If you like Sudden Death's Void look, it's very much like that. It was pretty cool. They had some, I think, drummers, which was interesting, and then they were doing these ceremonies that seemed like weddings. I was only passing by. I don't think they were legally binding ceremonies of weddings or anything like that, but you know, they looked like they were having fun. This kind of thing being on the app, like I said before, would be really cool because then people would know in advance and then be able to take advantage. It was right in the walkway, so you'd kind of have to see it and check it out, but I think descriptions help people plan ahead. Tuesday early entry is not a physical change or anything like that. You can get there a day earlier, and I definitely recommend it. Everyone I asked recommends that. My friends got there on Wednesday. The spot that they got was about a 15-minute walk from the village, so it was pretty far. People would, you know, get there much earlier and get a much better spot. So if you want to be close, absolutely get there on Tuesday. It's worth the extra, especially if you can get work off and that sort of thing. Jurassic Glamping added early Thursday entry and free parking, which of course to me seems obvious. I'm glad that they did it now, finally, I guess. It's weird to me that they didn't just include Tuesday early entry, because if you're going to be paying for the most expensive camping package, you know, I would assume you'd want to be able to go whenever you want. And for those people that have the glamping and the Thursday early entry, that means that they can't go to the Wednesday set, which just seems a little backwards, like I said, because you're paying the most expensive package. They said that this was because they wanted to track who's going at what times, and that they were going to send an email to know which day you're coming in. I didn't get any email like that, and I don't think there was anything online. It'd be nice maybe if right when you're buying it, then you tell them which day you're gonna arrive, or which day you think you're gonna arrive. But there's lots of camping festivals where they just let people come in early, and I think they should let people come in on Tuesday and have all of the amenities going that whole week so that people can get the most out of it. Oh, and they didn't mention this, but they didn't have free breakfast this year in glamping, and I know a bunch of people were upset by that. I would have been very upset by that too if I stayed in glamping. And to me, they better have free breakfast next year, especially because I'm pretty sure when it was on sale, it said that free breakfast was going to be included. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. I'll be doing a separate video on glamping as a whole. I had friends in there, so I got plenty of videos of what it looks like and lots of insider tips and information about the experience. So that's going to be in the description below, or just subscribe if that's not out yet, and it'll come out soon. Quiet camping was one that I didn't experience myself, but essentially they moved it further away from the festival so that it would be quieter. And from what I heard, people that were talking about it, they did achieve that. So it's good. If you want quiet car camping or quiet regular camping, do that. Easy camping was another one that I didn't experience this year, or didn't, you know, go see, but I know someone that stayed there, and essentially it seemed like it's about the same walk from the festival entrance, so nothing bad there, but it's also closer to the village, which is nice because it was kind of a pain last year to try and go from the easy camping area to the village because it was so much further away. Oh, and side note, the sleeping bags this year were actual sleeping bags, which is really nice. So you can expect in the future actual sleeping bags. You're not gonna have to go with the one I had in 2021. I don't have a picture of the one from this year, unfortunately, but I talked to someone, it's an actual sleeping bag. I still recommend bringing extra blankets so you can keep your feetsies warm, that's for sure. It gets really cold at night, but you don't have to worry too much. The sleeping bag isn't super thin. Close car camping got added back this year. Apparently they were doing it before and then added it back for, you know, whatever reason. People wanted it, people liked it. If it was well received, I would imagine that they would keep doing that. I think it probably will be. Close car camping seems pretty enticing to me, honestly. The last change is that the main lockers inside the festival were moved back behind the artist merch from where they were before. Last year, they were up close-ish to the entrance where the first set of bathrooms were, and there was just so much going on and so many people right there that there was a ton of traffic, and it actually really alleviated that to a certain extent, and it's a better spot. It's very out of the way. Not too far, because if you know where the artist merch is, it's pretty close to that first bathroom area. But I think that this was a very smart move, and I'm really glad that they're thinking about kind of all of these logistical things to make things easier on us when we're experiencing the festival. I'd love to hear more about what you guys think about all these changes, and actually really specifically, I'd love to hear what you guys think about the Wompy Woods lockers, if you guys think that that's a good idea to have them inside VIP, or if they should not. Let me know in the comments below. And lastly, I actually forgot one. They didn't put this on the list, but last year they didn't really take care of the porta potties and the bathrooms very well. It was really stressful and really annoying to basically go into every single porta potty and they're all just destroyed. There's no supplies in there. But this year they really fixed that. I didn't see any porta potties, I think for the most part, that were terrible. They kept cleaning them. I saw the trucks coming really often. There was always toilet paper in them. So I'm really glad that they took care of that and they care, because that is a huge stress relief for everyone. So anyways, thank you, Excision, for taking care of that. You don't have to worry next year. The porta potties, for the most part, are gonna be fine. You know, you may find an occasional one that's not great. Just move over one, you'll be fine. Lost Lands, as you can tell, definitely plans to grow and get better and better every year, and they do this with your feedback. So go on to Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, everywhere that you have, and just post all of your feedback, what you think could be better, what things you liked, and all of that, and they really will take that into account. And if you want to be up to date with changes that are happening at festivals as they're happening that I've been going to, follow me on Instagram at @out_raging, and I'll be posting stories at all the festivals I go to. The next one I'm going to is Escape Halloween. After that, I'm not sure. I haven't decided for New Year's Eve, so we will see, and I'll keep you guys updated, but definitely follow me there for more frequent updates. Now we need to talk about 2023. There's definitely a lot of changes that I expect. There's a lot of changes that I hope for, so let's just jump into talking about them. As I mentioned before, I don't think that there's gonna be huge changes to the infrastructure. Don't expect a bunch of paved sidewalks and things like that. Carry the duffel bag, get a wagon, all that sort of thing. You don't wanna be carrying a suitcase and dragging the wheels through all of the gravel. The Wompy Woods VIP area will likely stay the same. It seemed like it worked out really well. I think the only change that might happen is they'll take the entrance and put it on the backside, because there seemed to be a lot of congestion trying to go in from the side when lots of people in GA were kind of trying to walk back and forth. So if they moved that to the back, people could probably just go in and out a lot easier. The VIP areas in general could definitely use a couple more bathrooms and probably a couple more water stations. The water stations, for the most part, were fine during the day, but then, you know, at night the line got pretty darn long. So another thing, you don't want to be waiting in a super long line, and the water station was really small at both of those stages. They could have at least added one to cut those lines in half. I'd like to see more food vendor options at the VIP areas. There was about 1 or 2, I think, at both, and they weren't anything super great. Honestly, if you're paying extra for, you know, VIP, the convenience is nice for food, but I think it should also have options, and options that are really good and delicious. I will be doing a video on all of the food vendors at Lost Lands, and you'll be able to see kind of what the options are for food and generally what the pricing is. So definitely keep your eye out for that video as well. The last thing that I would really want for the VIP area, at least at the main stage, is a entrance at the very top of the hill. Right when you get in the festival, there's a big fence that goes along and it blocks off the top of the VIP area. I think it would be really nice to be able to just drop right in there instead of going all the way around to the front. The only thing here is that it might cause some congestion when people are trying to get in the festival and then potentially leaving. It might cause a little bit of a logistical nightmare as far as crossing. I would hope not, but I still think it would be important to have that entryway to get in easier. And they are trying to add more entrances like last time, so I think that they probably would at least consider this, if not just add it for sure. Am I tilted now? It looks like I'm tilted. I had to change my battery pack. Okay, how's that? Better-ish? There we go. Good? Okay, we might have changed the framing here a little bit. Don't mind me if it looks all different. Anyways, I wanted to say the stage in the campground, I expect it to be exactly the same next year as it was this year. And I'll get into why in a little bit, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. One thing that I would like to see in the future is much more dinosaur theming for the actual stages rather than just having dinosaurs around. I think that would be really cool. I think that's probably something that they're ramping up to in the future, but it's going to take time. It's only been 5 years, and you know, something like Tomorrowland has been around for well over 15 years, I believe. I also think that the Village Marketplace in general isn't going to change a whole lot. They will probably bring back the bone gazebo structure and some more art installations, but generally I think that the layout is probably going to be just about, if not exactly the same, because of the fact that they had the Discovery Center there last year and all of the vendors. All of that pretty much looked exactly like it did in 2021. There's not a huge reason to change it. It saves them money. It's already cool as it is. They might add some more experiences, which would be very nice. And like I said, hopefully they add some details to the descriptions of what the activities are. I definitely would expect Tuesday early entry to come back again. That's probably a no-brainer for them. It gets them a little bit of extra money. I would hope that Jurassic Glamping would bring back the free breakfasts, but we'll see about that one. I would also expect the new GA Festival locker location to be exactly the same. It seemed to work out super well. No traffic over there. I'm sure they're very happy with it, so that I would expect not to change. All in all, this year was definitely a significant increase as far as logistical changes that made things a lot easier for just less stress and getting in and out into different areas and all of that. I really enjoyed how easy it was for pretty much everything, to be honest. The only changes that I really want to see are more stylistic changes, and I think that this really relates to just the stage design for the most part, because we all love the dinosaurs, they're great, and all of the other kind of theming throughout is pretty good. You know, you don't have to do a whole lot of theming with the way Legend Valley looks. It's very Jurassic on its own, but I would like to see new stages. I'll go over the stages and those changes or not changes in a separate video where I tour all of the stages with you. I think we might want to expect a different stage, at least for the forest and the Subsidia stage, and I would really hope that Wompy Woods and Prehistoric Evolution change a little bit too, since they were pretty much exactly the same this year. Lastly, I wanted to say thank you to Excision for putting on such an amazing show. I know they put in so much work into Lost Lands and all of the festivals, Base Canyon, other things that they do. They really take into account all of the things that people are saying. We appreciate it. It definitely paid off this year. There was a lot of good changes that made things really nice. I'm really excited to go again, and if you see me there or at any other festival, definitely stop me and say hi. I loved meeting all of you there. It's really nice to meet new friends, and I hope to meet more of you soon. That's it for my 2022 Lost Lands update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go down and drop a like on this video. It definitely helps, and make sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the videos that I'm doing on Lost Lands and other music festivals. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.